Yeah, I'm just going to show you how that stuff gets packed in there in the corners. This has been a month since I made a video. And we haven't, you don't see a lot of progress just because you don't see the huge amount of dead nail and skin that's come off in the month. We continued to work on it. You can see that this is, you know, the layers are still here. I still have a lot of dead skin buildup on the front, but this nail was all the way out over here. You know, this is, and it's not visible necessarily. It's you can see how that's layered in there. So the skin was right up to that nail, what you can see of the nail now, and then there was more nail out over it. Depending on what layer you're looking at, how deep you've gone down in it, the nail will either look shorter or longer, but it's still it's a back and forth deal. There's still a huge amount of dead cuticle skin built up on the back. It's starting to drop on the sides to a certain extent. The fingers are emptying out. They're getting flatter. You can't see it so well, but this, you know, this is what you get after years and years and years of biting your fingernails. We're getting now back down to the original damage, and what you get here is there's this huge knot of stuff that's packed in the corner there. It could be a nail flake and then skin and then a nail flake and skin, just to, you know, you pull them one at a time, or and then you go to the next and it's all covered over with another nail. So everything you're looking at there, including this, when that was completely solidly packed with this dead skin or nail material, then there was another nail on top of it. I peeled that side nail off, and it's just exposed the conglomeration of stuff underneath it that is just kind of packed together, and then it gets the body just sends out more new nail material over the whole thing, and it makes one solid nail on top. And you can't, and so you can't see under it. You know that you're not. See, I know that I'm not down to the nail bed yet because my fingernails are still opaque. If my nails were right, I would be able to see right through them like a window pane to the nail bed, and they would look pink instead of opaque like a frosted window pane or a you know, auto glass that's had the layers delaminated and fogged. So this is some narrower. There's on the left-hand side, there's still a remnant of a wing because it's buried in skin at the back, and then when I pull it out, it's going to be painful and it's going to bleed. But this side, you can see, has trimmed down quite a bit. And last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, the nail was all the way out to here, and it was all the way over all this dead skin, and all the way out here in front. And that's a layer, and that's a layer, and there's several still layers in front, and no telling how deep it goes. So you can see that's going to roll out here in a minute. But that's just like a plug of caulking that's been stuffed in there, pounded in with a mallet. But you can see how this dead skin goes around, is pushed out, and everything inside of it is just an accumulation of damage. And when that plug comes out, this line here, which is pushed out radically to the side, it'll collapse back down on the nail. And in a couple of days, it'll all look normal again, and you won't be able to see that you made any progress. Brandy, do not go down there. Come here. Brandy, what are you doing? So let me see. Ooh, I got a bee on me. Hang on. Oh, golly. was hoping that was going to pop right out. It didn't really want to seem to. Hey, stop it. Put your ears down. What are you getting into over there? Well, it's not going to come out, but you can see there that it's just occupying space there. It's not really connected to anything, and it's not going to bleed when it comes out. It's just a clump of dead skin. This is where you don't pull. You're biting your fingernail, and there's a piece of nail that gets left. You don't manage to pull it all out, and so it just sits there. And then the new nail material that's trying to come out from behind it can't come out where it's supposed to. It flows around it like that and leaves it there. And then once it's completely surrounded it, new nail and built up over it, new nail material just comes out over the whole thing, and you get all of that damage that's buried under what looks like a new nail. But it isn't. It's just a repair nail. It's not. None of it is right until you go back and get all of the old damage out. And we've got the same thing going on over here. All of this stuff is just delaminating. You see that accumulation, that crescent around the side there. That's dead skin or something that's just laid up on the side of the nail there. And then more nail material came out over all of it and made a respectable looking nail on top. But it's all damage, everything underneath, and all of that coarse brown material is going to come out. It's actually just exactly like that. And all of that is going to come out just like this is coming out now, and that's coming out. You see how that just layers up on the side there. That's the damage that was sitting there, and the nail just came out around, the plastic nail material came out around and conformed to it. And if it weren't able to get out at all, once the nails get frozen in place, and the new nail material has no way to get out at all, then the damage just builds up and up and up, and your nails get cemented in place, and no new nail material is coming out unless it actually managed to force the laminated layers of the nails that are stacked up there apart and come out in a channel between the layers, which I've actually seen happen. Some of these pictures on the internet, people don't know what's going on, but they post the pictures. Sometimes these stacks of nails get forced open. They get a crack, or they delaminate in the middle, and then the new nail material actually is forced out between the layers because the pressure is tremendous. This stuff this dead cell material that the body is making every day, that it uses to make the nails with, it wants to get off your body. It wants to get out. And if you bottle it up by letting your nails get cemented in with dead skin, like I did, then you're at a certain point, everything is pretty much frozen, and your fingers and arms just start to swell up like blivets of bags of chicken fat that just get swollen more and more and more swollen as the dead cell material accumulates under the skin. So, and I think that's what causes problems, like where you actually have to have your fingers or hands or arms amputated. But you can see all of that there is a accumulation of trash, really, and it's all going to come off, and it's going to leave something that looks exactly like that or that when it comes out. And it's not really attached to anything. It's up here in front, it's buried in skin. And so if I were to peel it off here around in front, it would be very painful and tender there, because it would be very close to the nail bed, and it's liable to leave it exposed. But back there in the corner is nothing but a huge amount of impaction. And when it comes out, if a plug of it comes out, it's liable not to bleed because it's just stuffed in there like caulking. And when you pull it out, actually what it does is it relieves the pressure. So it actually feels better. That nail, this is cover nail, top nail, repair nail, was all the way back up under the cuticle skin up here. And I actually managed to break this veil, the cuticle skin that it was actually stuck to, broke it loose, and so now that nail is moving out. And when it first moved out, it dropped way down and back, so it was clearly two levels. You know, you could see this chipped nail was standing way up. But what happens is almost immediately this impounded dead cell material back here starts to flow out and bubble up. And so it's almost level now, except for that little groove right there between this bubble of new nail material and the old chipped nail in front of it. But when it first moved out, it dropped down 1/16 of an inch. And now just that void in back, now the further out it moves, it's just being filled up with new plastic nail material. And that's part of the problem, is that as long as this stuff is cemented in skin and dead skin up here in front, until all of this old damage gets out, when you relieve the pressure or you break it loose, all that happens is that new nail material starts to move out. That's not helping you as long as there's still damage and dead nail and skin and whatnot buried in the skin over the nail bed in the front of your finger, because it's just coming out, and as it's done for years and years, it's just sending out new material over the old, and it will harden up and make a new nail on top of all that old damage again. And if you leave it alone, you'll start to look like you've got good nails again in a week or two, but the damage is still underneath it. And you can see how all of that, the layers and layers and layers of all of that are still on the front of that finger. All of that has to come out, however much of it is. All has to come out and go away before this new nail material can flow out properly and stop bubbling up like that. And you can see how that's just a bubble of new nail material, but you see that old nail material that's buried down, and it was completely covered. You know, I've peeled skin off the top of it, and this old stuff down here is still glued into the skin, and so this new nail material is bubbling up out, and will actually just override it and form new nail on top of this if you let it. And you can see how that's just on top. You know, this is just another layer here that's sandwiched on the side, but it's over that. You know, you're looking at 3 or 4 or 5 different sections of nail that have been laid down at different times. So it's a collage, it's a composite of different nails. And this side here, I would be able to peel this off. This is relatively new, and so it would break up and peel off relatively easily. It really hasn't hardened yet. But this is the same on this side as this over here. It would come off, and both of these are on top of this. So that has to go away, and that has to go away. And this will go away also, because it's not real yet. But all of this that's underneath in front, including that, you see how that skin is still laminated up. And if you've been watching the videos, you know I've been doing this forever. Forever and ever and ever. And there's yet more and more and more of layers of dead skin and nail. Because every day, if you bite your fingernails, and you're biting your fingernails every day you bite through a cuticle, that cuticle dies. It's a one-piece deal. It's all of a piece, all the way around. And when you bite through the cuticle on the edge of the corner of your finger, trying to get at a piece of nail to pull it out with your teeth, that whole cuticle dies and a new cuticle forms underneath, and there are literally hundreds or thousands of them. built up on your fingers, and you just don't realize it because you keep, until it's jammed up to the point where no new nail material is getting out, it just keeps putting out new nail over all the old damage. And you get stacks and stacks and stacks of nails, and layers and layers and layers, hundreds of layers of dead cuticle built up, stacked up, one after another on your fingers. It's a serious problem, and nobody knows what it is. The medical profession has not clue one what's going on with what they call psoriasis of the nail. So I'm going to quit now and get the forceps and pull that plug out. So I'll post this, but this isn't a real video. At a certain point, I'll do a real work session. But it's kind of hopeless because it's just you have no way of measuring it. You have no way of gauging it against what's gone before. So it just looks endlessly repetitive. But what's happening is the skin is actually coming off the back. And as it's peeling off the front, the nail looks about the same, but it's actually traveling back. This dead cuticle skin, if a 1/16th of an inch of it comes off the back and a 1/16th of an inch of it peels off the front, then the nail looks about the same, but it's essentially coming back. And actual skin, the length of my fingers is becoming shorter, and the nail bed is being restored, whether you realize it or not, because more and more and more of it that has been covered over with this dead skin is being exposed as this dead cuticle skin peels off the back. I know it's complicated, but really all it is just a huge accumulation of dead skin and nail, and it all has to go. If you stop, you can stop at any time. And if you've unjammed it enough to where there's new nail material being formed and coming out from under the skin back here, then it will just cover over all this damage again. It'll fill up all these dents, and it'll make a new nail, repair nail on top of all this garbage, and you can just go from there. But the object of my game is to get all the damage off all the way down to the nail bed, and will allow this nail material that's coming out to come out uniformly in a one right dimension, not bubbly, not in a variety of thicknesses, but to come straight out and occupy the whole nail bed the way it's supposed to, and form one nail of uniform thickness that is thin, transparent, and in direct contact with the nail bed. Later.